What's up guys, I'm Tom and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to go over something that's very, very important that a lot of times people forget is blocking. So if you're going to ask what blocking is, that's something that you put in the wall that helps stabilize cabinets or whatever whenever you hang them after the drywall goes in place. So on like old construction, a lot of guys, if they're doing a kitchen remodel and they switch things around, they have to find these studs. But whenever you have open walls, now is to take a little bit of extra time is going to save you a ton of hassle at the end. So your standard counter height is 36 inches, top of counter. So we put a mark there, mark 36, and I actually have it right here. You probably can't see, I'll try to zoom in on that. So 36 plus 18 is 54 inches is the bottom of your wall hung cabinets right there. So what I'm going to do is show you a couple different ways of how you can lay that out without measuring each one to speed things up. And on the bottom, just to hold the base cabinet, we're just going to use a 2x4. And then on the wall cabinet, you got to catch the bottom and the top for blocking to screw them both. And then the way we laid out our kitchen is a lot of times is you'll do a 36 to a 40 wall cabinet. And then we're going to do like a 1 foot filler, maybe 14 inches at the top. So I'm going to get blocking all through this wall. You can see right here that I laid everything out just like a preliminary layout for the cabinet guy so he can give us some pricing. We have over here is for the refrigerator, I believe this is a 30-inch cabinet, a stove with a hood. So right through here I'll put some blocking in for the hood. Another 30-inch cabinet, 30-inch cabinet base. So then we're gonna, I believe we're doing quartz. Did a lot of research, went and looked at a bunch of different places. You know, everybody has their own opinion on stuff, but it seems like quartz is the best bang for your buck. Let me know with a comment down below what you suggest, but granite seems like you have to put sealer and stuff on it and maintain it pretty good. So what I'm gonna do here is get the laser set up and I'm gonna show you a couple different situations of how you could do this real easy. So I'm going to show you the fastest way I know how to do this. Me having a laser, I believe that's the fastest way you could probably do this by yourself. So not everyone has a laser, so I'll show you this way and then I'll do the other line, the more conventional way that most people can come up with some brick strain. So we talked about 36 inches as the top of the countertop height. So you obviously don't want to put blocking that high because you got to figure for a countertop, you're looking like between an inch, inch and a half, depending on what kind of material you're using. So what we're going to do is start the top of the blocking at 34 inches down. So 2x4 is 3.5 inches thick, so that's going to give you 30.5 inches up to 34 inches of coverage, so you have somewhere to screw the top of the base cabinet in. So just mark that on there, and then I'll go over with the laser, it's behind the camera here, and we'll slide that down till I hit this mark right there. So there you have it with a laser. I have it set up on the scaffolding behind us, so it's working out perfect, has a magnet on it. And now this is the top of my blocking all the way across. So this is another thing that I tell people to maximize your yield. Whenever building a house, you have a ton of scrap wood and stuff like that. There's a lot of pieces that you can't use or get cut off or whatever for certain reasons. They're cut offs on building a wall. So I saved most of those and put them on the side for reasons for this. So now instead of burning that or throwing it in a dumpster, what most people do, now you have these blocks of wood saved where you can come across here and use them instead of buying it. So we're going to do one example here. Come over and take a measurement. Right where you're going to be installing this block, that's 14.5 inches. So we'll go over to the saw here and we'll cut a piece. I always like bringing the workstation to me, so fortunate enough that I can bring everything to this area. Normally I cut in the garage to minimize the mess, but I got to clean this up anyway. So this right here is a 2x4 that's so twisted I can't use it to build a wall. So it's perfect for blocking. Set it up here on the stage. This chop saw here has a laser built into it, so you don't even have to mark it. So you come down, find 14.5 inches right there, put on the laser, and then cut it. Always try to wear your safety glasses, guys. We talk about this. You know, I don't always have them on, but I try to put them on as much as possible because a lot of freak things happen. All right, let's go over and see if it fits. So you can see this is for this piece right here. So that's a perfect fit. You don't want to come up short or you don't want to be heavy because like this one, for instance, is going to be needing to be a bigger piece. So you don't want to come up short and suck that in because then it throws your layup out on your 2x4s when they do the drywall. They're banking on that these things are straight and laid out 16 on center. Sometimes when you get a little bit tighter than this, it'll hold itself in place, but get on a green line. It does have to be perfect. Get one started. Hit the next one. Then I'll go back and I'll double nail those. So this is an example of the fastest way I feel putting blocking in is if you have a laser and a nail gun. Now I'm going to show you how the most conventional homeowner has a screw gun and some string, and we'll see how much faster or slower this is. This method, I'm going to show you some old school technology, some screws and strings. So you're going to come over and like we talked about, the 54 inches is the base of the wall cabinet. So I'm going to come over here, mark 54 right there. Then we're going to drive a screw in right here. We're going to do the same thing over here. Now that we got them screws in, you can just get some brick string. Any type of string really, if it was fishing string or something. Tie a little looper. And string that across there. There you have it, guys. Make sure the string's pulled tight. Now you have your benchmark for your top cabinets, and then we shot the laser for the base cabinets. So one other thing that I have done in the past is got a chalk box where you just pull that there and you snap the line. So that leaves a permanent mark on there. So for right now, that's what I'm gonna do because I'm using a laser for here, and I'm gonna put some chalk lines here so I don't have to run the laser and keep strings in my way here. So you can grab a chalk box anywhere, Lowe's, Home Depot, your local hardware store. And it's really nice, same scenario as a string, but this is gonna leave a permanent mark on 2x4s, so then it's there. I don't have to keep all this stuff in play. So you pull it tight, and you get a little snap. Now I have a red mark in my 54-inch height, so I know that this blocking is going up there. So I'm going to put some of this on time lapse. I'm going to get some of these in here and just see what we can get going here. All right, guys, so we're gonna do the old school method. You know, for sure a nail gun's faster than screwing them, but sometimes people don't have nail guns. So I'm gonna do a few here with screwing it. Here's the chalk line. So we're gonna stay above that. Like we talked about, 54 inches up. I had some extra 2x6s laying around, so you could use 2x4s. 2x6 a little overkill, but if you have it, why not use it? So I pre-cut some pieces here. We're gonna slide this in place, hit them marks. You know, sometimes it helps to cut it a little bit bigger so then it doesn't float, but you can do when you're doing the screws, and you know this is where you're working at, because you've got to be above this line here, you could pre-screw it. So it's easier to screw it in, get it started. Do one over here. So now it's making it easier for me to get this in place, right on my mark, and then screw it in. Got your mark here, hold it. And just make sure this is flush. If it's back a little bit, I don't think it's going to be too terrible, but you don't want to be above, because then it's going to wave your drywall and, you know, make your cabinets not square. So I'm going to put one more up here to show you whenever you're coming to this intersection of what exactly it's going to take to get this screwed in like this. So I'm using 3 1/4 screws, I believe. So they're getting some nice bite in there. You don't want to use anything too shallow, because it's not going to bite enough, and too long, it's going to stick out the end. So you got to find your happy medium. Do a little pre-screw here. Just one would be enough to hold it in place until you get situated there. And some of these you can screw it at an angle. Some you can come up through the bottom, as long as you get a good bite and a long enough screw. So I'm going to come up through the bottom. All right, guys, so there you have it. Gave you 2 different scenarios on how to lay the marks out and 2 different scenarios on how to install the blocking. But the most important thing is the blocking. So however fast it takes you to get to that point is whether you have the equipment and the time. So like I said, it's a must. You have to do this whenever you're in new construction phases, because it's going to save you a ton of aggravation down the road. So, like always, we appreciate you guys watching, and we're going to keep shooting videos on this build as it continues on. Chico and I got a lot of power and light to the fixtures. You could see we're coming into where the time change is coming, so it's going to start getting dark at night and stuff. So we had to get some power and stuff in this building so contractors can work. Had a little bit of delay on some windows, had some issues with some windows. So we're hoping this week we're going to get the windows in, and then start getting the insulation, drywall, and everything. Got the plumbing inspection. So we're definitely moving in the right direction. So we really appreciate you guys following along. If there's anything you want to see in particular, leave it in the comments. If I can, I will. I'll try to emphasize on something if someone wants to see a particular section of the house on how to do something. So like always, we appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take care. We got 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bottom row base cabinet, bottom wall cabinet, splitting 50-50, second row cabinet, and then the top runner right there. Hour and 35 minutes, guys. Catch you on the next one.